Nifty that with Michael Ailey with a secondary op on Forest at B way back when they ran him in the map. That was on the previous version, obviously, but ZQK I could see him opping B, just his style and the fact that he plays well with his team. He knows the angles they're going to hold. So we'll see if... I expect him to be on A, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if he heads over to B. Knife underway, though. CLG has the upper hand already. Should I do it? It's too late. It's too late.
Yeah, no. You gotta call that from the start, man. You can't just come into that late.
I could just jump in. I know. I was hesitant. Man, they called the swap so early that the knives already changed in the obituary. So there you go. CLG obviously going to start CT.
Yeah, and that's good for them. Well, also, I mean, we talked about Keatstars is that, you know, their T-side executions just look on point on other maps. So this could also, I mean, bode very, very well on a T-sided map. And you mentioned Threat was one of the first people to say this was turning into a T-sided map. And then, you know, Devil Walk kind of came out and he was like, yeah, this Cobble plays like a Terra-sided map. So very, very skewed towards the offense at the moment. Look at Fur. He's going to push into this stack. He's the only player in mid, and he's going to see what he can find. One has a grenade out, so they can't get the shot off, but they both fall back for just one player. No rotations from the B bomb site, but 4 members of Keatstars are ready to go over here.
Close smoke to cover off Alley. Nothing out on the statue as of yet, so this is interesting because that leaves that exposed, and that's exactly the punishment for it. Cutler has a free shot into ZQK, so bomb now completely dropped down on the site, and CLG have full control of it as Tarek's going to find bolts. And unfortunately, Fur down on 10 HP, hasn't found much better fate trying to lurk through, and JDM's going to catch him. Equal situation for Steel on 22 as they do battle now with Cutler, and they realize Tarek slowly sliding over. He finds Fallen. And now it's Steel that has fallen. It'll end the round. CLG 1-0. That smoke's interesting. So I'm a little curious because normally they're very calculated on their takes with these smokes on Keatstar's side. That time they throw a short one, but they don't cover off the bomb site, which would have given them a better chance to plant the bomb. Not to mention, you pretty much have to nail a shot if someone crosses quickly on that alley point. You can jump over that pretty quickly and not get killed.
Yeah, I mean, that round was just a very nice job by CLG, just getting all the entry kills. Denying Keatstars any ability to find an entrance into the bomb site. And they just shut it down slowly but surely. And now look at this B rush. Speaking of slowly, it's going to be a quick play towards B. Tarek mows down the first one. And the second, nothing going the way of Keatstars at the moment. They do have the platform. There's Fallen. He does manage to pick one off, but it's Steel on a boost who does the real damage. Picks off the rotators for Fallen to chime in as well. These Tech 9s here, they were shut down initially, but they found their marks late.
That's way better. So they are intentionally throwing the smoke every single round. They're worried about the second player from drop being able to pop out and take them as they swing into the site, but now it still comes back as Hazed will find Fallen dropping the bomb down. He still has the rifle. He's up against the Tech 9 of Steel, who's lurking over... Oh, I don't think Hayes knows it. He hasn't spotted him yet, but he fires away prematurely, not able to land the shot, and now Hayes has the situation back in his favor, or does he? Steel lands the headshot, and now he pulls it off with the hat trick, and we do get the eco from Keatstars. Man, if they added a second smoke to the mix there onto the site, not only would they get crossed over, they would have so many free bomb plants the way they're playing this right now.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. What a round from Keatstars, and Steel especially there, getting 3 of them, because Tarek shuts down the first 2, and then they're just able to swarm and find all the kills, and it was really, I mean, they got an entry onto that bomb site, and then it was really the drop, you know, the lurk down drop that opens things up. It picks off a rotator, and then everything is open to them. The bomb site is open, and Steel just cleans house.
FNS going to be the player to watch drop. He's only got the pistol. He falls off. Dodging the nade. Like, we can cast this like 50 style. Flash comes out. FNS dodges. Pulls away. But he reconsiders. Heads back toward. You know what I mean? Like the old, like, radio style. ZQK finds his worthy adversary as JDM drops down. And Steel on the back of it. I'm done. I'm not going to do it. I can't figure it out. I haven't found the rhythm for that one yet.
You'll get there. Keep practicing, young Padawan.
Young Padawan. But JDM, the only player to drop out so far. These 2 SMGs, one of them has found a kill. If they can get more for Fallen, they'll start to build this economy. And keeping up the rifles, especially that FAMAS they picked up, this is good work because on this map there is a lot more open angles. Hazed is hoping desperately someone's going to come through from mid. No one's there, though. They're all at B. And it's really passive inside connector right now, so they should be able to walk in. This round's looking very favorable. Specifically with Fallen at drop, because if they do try and bust into the site and go for the retake, he'll hear the ball coming.
Yeah, I mean, Keatstars just has a stranglehold on this round. And also, with CLG gambling over towards the bomb site, it's just an unfortunate gamble is picked wrong, the 50-50 battle.
This is interesting. I called Shazam out for not dropping down in this situation earlier, but now seeing how Fallen's playing it, I can see what Shazam was up to, because Fallen's able to watch a flank at this point. So that's actually decent. If you have the rest of the site covered off with the other people, Fallen can just, well, obviously there's no flank coming in right now, but it gives them full ability to go back and cut off that flank before it gets close enough to the site to be effective. So maybe I was a little bit quick to overread that position from Shazam in the Tempo Storm match.
Yeah, you might need to do like a public apology.
I'm sorry, Shazam. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Corey. Just to throw that in there as well.
So 2-1 for Keatstars, and this isn't going to be a buy from CLG. FNS does pick up a CZ. They upgrade the pistols a little bit. They buy smoke just to slow down any kind of really fast play, but Keatstars in that anti-eco looked very calculated, very composed. Can't imagine CLG finding any kind of success going forward into this one.
And they're all stacked up. Lots of nades to go out in case of a fast push. Remember, you can actually beat them to that connection point based on spawns. In fact, Fur would have been around the corner before they got there to defend it. Oh. Tarek! What a shot, Fur! Catching the end of that 50 caliber bullet. But Fallen, there it is. He's going to find FNS. And they'll come down the drop. He cuts off Tarek now as well as he tries to fall back in the site. This gives them the ability to pinch from both sides because only Cutler is left inside the site. And Steel's going to extinguish him just as quick. So they'll walk in. Steel just wants to make sure no one's hanging out in the hut, but no one is. It's going to be JDM and Hayes both coming over from the connector. And JDM spotted the SMG from that distance. Won't be able to put him down quickly, but it does in the end. JDM bows out of it and look at Fallen coming through. Second SMG kill. More money to work with. And Keatstars adding to the tally that's in their bank accounts. Remember, they lost the pistol. They went on the eco, and they still are able to bring up $9,100 before we're going to get a full buyout from CLG.
Yeah, that's insane. But now we do have that AWP in JDM's hands. He's been very, very effective with it this season. ZQK responds in kind on the other side. But it does look like they're going to go to other sides of the map. JDM bringing his op over towards A bomb site. ZQK coming to B to watch for any kind of fast push or fast boost up.
It's going to be cool to see them go for that attempt. That Cutler's going to be the one that pushes out. And Tarek's actually in more of an Elige position, playing a tighter angle to immediately counter back onto drop. The second it would be lost to FNS. He's actually boosted up on tree, like you said, so this is pretty cool because he can actually cover off immediately onto the swing at B and still be in a really tight position. He is very exposed there, but he can fall off where he's so close to
the edge. I mean, this is a great spot to find like one kill and just fall off and play a little bit of defense. And also, you know, especially with where Cutler's playing, Cutler can take a shot and just fall away. If he doesn't get the kill immediately, he can fall down and lurk him right into Tarek. But ZQK has other things on his mind. Gets the entry, and now you see Keatstars storming in. They're going to swing wide on this platform. Tarek does grab one. He stays on top, though. He hasn't dropped down. There he goes. He does drop Fur. He's going to try and respond. He does. He gets the entry. Gets one more. What a shot, and Fallen chimes in. The B defense has crumbled beneath the might of the Brazilians.
And this is it. Keatstars' execution looking very, very solid on this B site. No surprise. This is an execution map, and they're definitely winning the exchange, so CLG need to adapt to this. I think they almost at this point have to go for the double stack toward that B entry point. Maybe get someone aggressive up on the ledge, go for the boost in the corner, get him around the box for cover, and maybe in a position where he can peek it over toward the bench. I wouldn't even go into the archway, into that sort of that cubby hole. I don't know what you want to call that. I guess it's the arch, but you can play it by the bench and just in behind the box. That'll allow you to fall out a lot easier, and it's not as commonly naded. But they need to do something to compensate for the fact that they are losing the front of the site really quickly every time.
Yeah, that was, I mean, that looked good for CLG. I mean, Cutler gets picked off by that op, but Tarek gets the first one. It was just Fur just comes in, he's full beast mode. Ruins everything, and look at him, and now he's taking control. He's going to be entry fragging out of danger, and he checks his corner, he finds JDM. And even Fallen spraying through smoke finds Tarek. Nicely done by Keatstars, have a two-man advantage here in this anti-eco.
Yeah, looking solid indeed. One lurk player holding two back at A site, and that's Bolts. He wants out. Still throwing nades. He knows he's got company over here somewhere. Doesn't want to lose this AK and give it away for free. So he does need to be quite calculated about that position. As meanwhile on B, it's all on Cutler. And he gets spotted by Fall, and he goes back for more after Fallen took the initial shot. But As he comes down drop, he does get the kill. FNS meanwhile finds Bolt, so there's your AK picked up over on A. That is for free. That was exactly what Bolts was trying to avoid, because now they can try and save this gun. So the question is, do they chase it? And they are. Look at Keatstars. Everyone's in the connector. At the very least, they're not pushing anywhere with that AK to get more damage done.
Looks like they're almost waiting, and I don't know how much. I mean, they don't have too much time left, but Steel is wrapping all the way around. They're going to try and crunch this AK-47 from FNS. He's actually coming down danger. Steel could spot this if the timing is right, but FNS is just going to camp out in the stairwell. ZQK does take off the head of Hazed, but this does look like a saved AK-47 for CLG. So we'll see. I mean, this round, this is going to be a round that they're going to have to find some way to manage. Oh, no. Oh, FNS does get the kill. Nicely done from him. And that was the up, wasn't it? I mean, he has to rebuy that AWP, so that's actually a pretty good find from FNS.
That's massive. Yeah, that's huge. So, and JDM has his out now. That AK up and in play still. That gives good economy to Hayes. That is a bit of a win for CLG.
Well, here's the thing. CLG needs to find some way to get some entries here on these gun rounds. And they pick out a double up setup. That's what this is designed to do. But a nice pop flash catches Terra completely off guard. A 1-for-1 trade. That's a fantastic job by Fur. Once again, just being an animal. Hayes, he can't even get back in time. ZQK with a very nice shot onto him. But still a 3-on-3 after JDM chimes in. These entries from Keatstars, they're just relentless, pursuing CLG members all over the map.
But this slows them down a lot.
But look at where Keatstars is setting to go. This is a perfect call.
To head drop, you think splitting this up is actually the way to go?
Yeah, it's where the defense is going to be the weakest.
All right, well, we'll see if it works out for them, because they can divide and conquer here with Cutler stuck inside B, but JDM's there. He is still on that backside. Bolts is going to go out to try and get the information. And FNS gets aggressive on A. This will give up the gig. This will get information for them, and not only that, put him in a secured position to go for the retake. JDM, though, he finds Bolts. So they haven't really gone anywhere with this position, because look where Cutler is as well. He's immediately outside of the drop. He can cover off both angles when he hears them fall out the window sill, or when that flash comes out. Doesn't spot Fallen, though, because he's through the smoke, but JDM doesn't care. He pops back out, and with the dink on the first player, the sound trigger gives it away. Cutler gets the shot, and CLG, that's a much better round for them.
It was a footstep. One of the Keatstars players made a footstep. I heard it on Cutler's screen when I was spectating him, and JDM immediately moved his positioning for a better angle, looking into that drop archway. So nicely done by CLG. That was the weakest point of the defense. If they had been able to get out towards A, or even towards B from those double doors, I mean, that could have been very scary for CLG, but they do pick it up in the end. Back to this double op setup. Tarek and JDM both with it. But 3 members at A, and it's a fast B play. This is scary. Cutler's going to have a lot of work to do. He's playing behind the fountain, spraying away. They know he's there, but he's getting dinked out. He hasn't been able to land anything. He's partially blind. Keatstars hasn't dedicated themselves to this hit, but there's the nade that comes in, takes him out. FNS drops the flank watcher, ZQK.
This nade goes out and has potential damage written on it to the bomb planter, but it doesn't quite get far enough to do damage on the Fallen. As FNS now will drop to Steel, so that F gets somewhat of a position established, because this is planted for Steel to just peek out from this connection point. He is going to be slightly aggressive on his angle just to spot anyone that comes around from way down by the hut. It would be JDM to do that with the up, so he needs to be careful, because if he hits that shot, it could change everything. Tarek, meanwhile, wants to come up the alley. He's giving himself away, though, with that smoke, and that means Fallen can turn back, and Steel's perfectly in position to execute JDM. Nice trade, good crossfire from Keatstars to know their obligation and role in that situation.
Yeah, and complete economic control here for Keatstars, resetting the money twice now on CLG. Every time they win one, Keatstars takes it right back from them, so this is going to be a safe situation. Tarek and Cutler both below $2,000. That's even going to mean, I mean, next round they're more than likely going to buy with the money that's on JDM, FNS, and Hayes, but that's still going to mean that there's a weak purchase on 2 of their members. And here's these very quick entries into the middle, into the connector. It's only going to be Hayes in here.
Fallen taking down Hayes, though. Can't do anything with that aggression. ZQK just waiting to make sure no one's going to push long, as well as FNS wants to readdress that aggro play. Fur's already around the corner, though. He's already up long, and he'll find Tarek back at A. So JDM, FNS, Cutler. See if they can do anything. CZ75. We haven't seen a full CZ75 buy in a while. Seems like ages past that it was the go-to over the Tech 9. And Steel finds Cutler. JDM does at least get 1 kill onto Bolts, but he'll go no further as ZQK takes down FNS. What's with the oppers and the 3-letter names? PTR, JDM, ZQK.
I don't know.
M-O-E, or at least that's pronounced Mo. Ska, S-K-A. Add a doodle to it.
It's all the rage, man. That's what it's in.
I'm going to be... I don't know what I could be. SDK? Sadelkiss? Does that work?
No, that
Does it
doesn't
give
even
me
come
skill?
close to working.
Okay, alright, fine. Fine.
So 3 Falma Spies out for CLG, only 1 kit, and they're all out of smokes already. They have 0 smokes left into this round. 3 flashbangs is all they have to work with in way of utility, so they've just flat out got to win these gun battles, and it's not boding well for them. Steel and ZQK trying to clear this drop zone. FNS is there, they spot him out. Now he's in some trouble. Now he's got to find some way to fall back. He's going to eat that nade, and actually Keatstar's perhaps wisely doesn't pursue him, doesn't want to give up that trade, but they do a lot of damage to him, and they're going to force him back.
And they check that corner. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like, if you get behind the box, you have a better angle to control your peak, but that's so easy to cover off that angle inside the arch with that Molotov that steal through. And interestingly enough, Olaf's the only one that really uses the box consistently. ZQK does find the entry. Second out from Fallen's going to find Cutler, so they're using them both to full effect right now. As Tarek will swing down below the statue, he just needs to watch that wide angle before they drop in, but they've already done that because FNS wasn't in position on the front to make sure they could do that. He does flash himself through the smoke. This works out well. He finds Fur, but unable to turn around fast enough to take the shot to steal as well, and he's going to come in and make it an absolute case for them to have the bomb site. Nice shot, JDM, to at least catch Bolt. Bomb's still not planted, so JDM could give himself a bit of a chance. He's checking drop just to make sure no one else is going to be in position, and a whiff from ZQK gives him the chance, but there's not one up, there's 2. Fallen again makes up for it. And Keedstars now have 8 rounds. 8 rounds, T-side. We haven't seen it. We have not seen any, in fact, North American team pull off that many rounds on their T-side yet on Cobble this season. Now, that said, Liquid did start out CT, so we never really got to see their T-side materialize.
I mean, this is just a situation where I said they were controlling the economy, and Keatstar's had such a good read on it that round, allowing their oppers so much time to find the entry frags, which they did. But that's because there were no smokes to block off choke points, so oppers had plenty of time. There were no flashbangs on the side of CLG, so, I mean, there were 3, but they didn't have to worry about pop flash peaks at all, which encounter an opper, so the ops are given plenty of space and time to work with when the economy for the counter-terrorists are this low, and the ops from ZQK and Fallen are just brutalizing CLG at the moment.
I mean, the other thing is, interestingly enough, JDM's at 10 frags right now. 6 is the next best on his team for Tarek, and he's the opera on the CT side. So if they could find a way to support that, or at least get kills around him, there is a chance for them to pick up these rounds. But again, they're just giving up B so easily. Steel's going to get JDM down this time. It is only a pistol that he's holding on to, but that's a 1 kill. It dropped the double stack, though. Are they going to put Tarek up? They do.
They're counter
FNS, excuse me. It's FNS that goes up. Tarek's the one that put him there. And how did that not work? Fallen, what a reaction.
Game sense. The game sense is just too strong, but now they're going to enter into this A bomb set. There's 3 players. Fur just cleans house, though. There needs to be a 4th there to stop him from doing his work. He's just an animal at these entry frags. Fallen and Steel at 13, Fur at 10, but, I mean, that 10 feels like it's far more than just 10.
Yeah, it does. It feels like an insurmountable total. As they're not going to let down at all. Full gas pedal from Keatstars. They go right back to it. Fallen, 1 up. CQK, the other. AKs to divide our HUD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to back. Nice little pattern to be working with. Slightly different this time, though, because they do have guns up. Look how passive they are at A. This is where you normally see teams push. This is where CLG normally would get aggressive, or anyone on the CT side would get aggressive in the A halls to potentially get a read on what's going on from their opposition. They're not doing it.
Here's the thing. This is like vintage CLG. They've just been put in their place by the Brazilians, and they're so scared to give up any picks. They don't want to be aggressive at all. There's FNS. Finally, a first kill goes in the way of CLG. So they give themselves an advantage, and now they just got to capitalize on it. But, I mean, you said it, so much room given up at A. Look at how far Fur and Bolts can get without CLG knowing anything about where they are.
Cutler's holding an interesting angle. This is something that never existed before this truck was in play. Gives them a bit tighter position to hold with that M4. And they would have to cross by him regardless to get inside the A site, but they're not heading there. It's another B execution. And JDM this time way back over at the hut with the op. Gives him a wider angle, so they are bringing him over to the B site. Tarek's going to be in that support position, and JDM makes no mistake in the first one. Changes his angle, gets tighter, finds Fallen as well as Tarek keeps him distracted and locked in place. He has to go back out, and he's shifting back and forth. Skip to your Lou, and he pops back out. Bolts as well. JDM, that's perfect. That's what the op has to do for them, and now he's got a chance to really bring CLG a few more rounds if they can continue like that. And all Tarek had to do is exactly what he did, just to provide covering fire. I know that sounds like an overused cliche war term, but that's exactly what worked in that case.
I would expect CLG to keep up that passive play over towards the A bomb site because the reason why that worked on all previous round, Keystars is able to get a pick towards A very, very frequently, and that's kind of what spreads out their defense. That round, without a pick towards A, JDM's given enough time to just hang out and wait for the executes to walk into him. The off picks for Keystars didn't work because he had the positioning. CLG needs to keep that one up.
We'll see if they can. JDM's again going to be on B. This time, slightly different approach. He's on the statue because he anticipates that they'll likely peek into him. It's only a single op setup for ZQK. We'll see if he can make it count, as he is actually over toward the A side. Cutler pushed up. I call that the Eolithic because of, I don't know if anyone's seen that. I imagine a lot of people have. I don't know why I'm saying if anyone's seen, but the Eolithic frag kill. I think it was Luke that was in that position. Might have been Damien. I don't remember. But close to the door on the mid-entry. Meanwhile, Steel's still going to lurk this drop position. He's got Fallen to support it as well. FNS puts the fire up, and it's timely. They don't actually push through.
He's so fortunate to get out of that alive. Nice Molotov covers the retreat.
And they were one step from coming over the edge when he had the nade out, too.
Yeah, and look at these advanced positioning on A, over towards A halls. Fur and ZQK, smoking everything off. Here comes the execute onto the A bomb site.
And they're going to come in. Hayes, though, lines them up. ZQK for immediately dropping down. And Cutler, he waited, and there he comes out. An easy shot when he does arrive. And that makes us now 9-4. Clawing back slowly but surely for CLG. I mean, 9-6, this is, again, Threat thinks this should be a 9-6 half. Or 9-6, excuse me, map for T-side. But that relies on T-sides knowing what they're doing, and I'm not 100% sure the North Americans are up to speed yet on this map. I mean, I know I'm razzing on them over and over again for that, but we'll see if CLG have an answer, because they're going to have to be completely on fire on their T-side. And you're going to get some pretty skillful guys who don't often miss shots.
A very fast A play. CLG's been caught out in this one before. Both Hayes and Cutler playing in mid, and they're going to get flashed, they're going to get naded. No peeks quite yet from Keystars. No one trying to entry frag. Tarek has rotated over with his AWP, so that's pretty good for CLG. He's able to cover Cutler and Hayes if they want to fall back.
He's really aggressive. There's a really cool boost I haven't seen anyone do in a long time, by the way, on the other side of that wall in the corner that allows you to stack out toward long. You are quite exposed when they come around corner, but you have two players there, and you can see over top of the wall down into bottom mid. It's been a long time since it's come into play because A's almost neglected at times now.
This is what I was talking about before the match started. Having that mid control of connector and drop, you can now fall back. You can use that other passageway to get over to B very, very quickly. And Cutler's not in position to support his teammates. He's not at that B bomb site quite yet. He's just now rotating over, but he's got to make a decision as they come down drop. FNS is going to be the only one defending this. He is going to win the initial battle, but Steel trades him off.
Now they got to worry about Cutler coming in, and with two players over, ZQK's in prime position to do that. He's also going to get on the back of Hayes before he can do anything. Actually, I take that back. He did find the shot on Steel, but Tarek closes it out. So they do hold strong inside the site. That was massive for CLG because otherwise Keystars had that full control once they broke drop, like you said, but really good job inside. Those two players over on the back, Tarek specifically made it all work.
And they've finally broken the economy of Keystars. We talked about how quickly and how fast and how massive it got for Keystars.
They had a double up, I think, something like 6 rounds ago. This is the first time we've seen it since.
Yeah, but this is a great position for CLG to get that 6th round. And it's going to be a fast B play with these Tech 9s.
Fallen looking like the only one that wants to go over drop. He's not even going to bother. Actually, they change it back. Steel's in a better position once the fire extinguishes, so he goes late because that allows Fallen to get in position sooner. But JDM doing the work again. First one shot down, tagged up on the second, switches to the pistol, and Tarek with the second op will take down bolts. So Hayes back into ZQK. Steel. Let's hope he's a good thief because he's going to have to steal this entire round. And that's not how you spell that steal, so obviously he's never stolen anything in that situation 1-on-5 in his life. It's going to be 9-6. The unbreakable metal gets broken. I'm done. Take it, Moses, save me. It's too late.
Oh, everyone take a minute for Sadicus there. that comeback by CLG in that half was completely spurred on by JDM. And putting him in the B bomb site with an AWP, that's what really got them those rounds at the end. He was an absolute monster behind the fountain that last round, getting swarmed from multiple angles, managed it very, very well. You poor thing.
Oh, it's okay. I'm fine with it.
You're like afraid to talk.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. No one can see me. My webcam is not on. I'm pretty red right now, but it's cool. I actually knew what I was doing with the steel thing. I got a little far with the metal thing. That was a bit much. That was the save me moment. It's alright. We'll get through this together, you and I.
Oh my god.
So now we get to see if CLG are actually going to come in. This is going to rely heavily on... I mean, maybe they try and just open it up. Maybe they slow it down and go for picks. Try and open up A side a little more because, again, there's so much execution that has to be relied upon at B. We'll get an indication pretty early on. From Keydstars, it was pretty obvious from their pistol round and the ensuing round that they had a good smoke play that they wanted to use and put to effect.
I'm not even so much worried about the smoke play. I'm worried about the entry frag because, I mean, that's kind of what happened in that first half was it just played out that whoever's getting the entry frag basically wins these rounds, and in the later stages, it was all CLG getting the opening frags, and is Tarek going to be up for the task on the C side to get the entry frags that Fur was getting for his squad? Because he opened things up that entire half, and if Tarek can't do something similar, then I think CLG is going to have a tough time finding opportunities.
I just want to take this moment while we're delayed at the half, by the way, and just getting ready. Nick was saying go Blackhawks. Nick, a.k.a. Scream in chat, was saying go Blackhawks, and I said, no, go Ducks, my boy Simone Dupre. Yeah, he scored the game winner, Nick. How you feeling now, buddy? Ducks 2-1, baby. Cup's coming their way. And now we can get back to Counterstrike.
No one cares about hockey when the Red Wings are out of it anyways.
Bye-bye Babcock, bought out by the Leafs.
That's a little unfortunate.
$50 million for 8 years.
That one
hurt. It's a good challenge for him. He definitely picked the worst team in the league to work with. It's definitely a challenge. Either way, we do have second half going to get started. CLG on the back foot, starting from 6. If they can win the pistol, bring it back to 9, then it'll be a grind. But if they don't win pistol, I dare say it's almost insurmountable to pull themselves out of this. We'll see. We could be surprised. Maybe they've got something up their sleeve on this map.
The bomb is actually all alone out in middle. He has one player, I mean, somewhat nearby, but there's 3 players skewed over towards B in this drop. This looks like it's good. They want to do an A-pinch through this drop. And Keydstars is set up perfectly for it. Bolts and ZQK. There's a crossfire set up. The first one goes down. Nicely done. A third player comes in for Keydstars. Nades right in. Damage is dealt to CLG, but they've got the opening pick. Fur's got to be very careful behind him. JDM doesn't check the corner. Gets taken out, but another trade. So it's going to be a retake onto this bomb site. It's going to be a 3-on-3. No kits for Keydstars.
Smoke out on the doorway. That'll prohibit vision from Fallen as he tries to enter back in. Finesse waiting inside the corner around that half wall, that L-turn wall. Just waiting in case they get across, but they have to get past Cutler first in order to do that. And Fallen, he's not successful. We have ZQK and Steel as the only 2 players. Steel's on the flank, though. This could work out well as he does pop out. Spot FNS, re-peeks him and takes him on the secondary attempt. FNS goes down, brings it back to a 2-on-2. Good play, Cutler. They're low on HP. He has to hit that shot. And now with time diminishing and no kit, it's all CLG's round, and they'll actually close it out with a nice shot from Hazed.
That's 5 straight rounds for CLG in this match. That defense was, from Keydstars actually looked really, really good. I mean, the biggest issue was they had so many bodies to prevent, so many players to prevent that drop pinch, the drop half of that pinch, and they didn't do it successfully. So good trades from CLG eventually opens that strategy up to success. It's going to give them their pistol run, but they won the pistol run in the first half, and they were ecoed immediately afterwards, and there's a big investment from Keydstars. 2 shotguns with no armor, and then 2 pistol buys with armor, so we'll see what decision they have to make. ZQK actually didn't buy armor, so, I mean, that's just saying he kind of wants to get an AWP as quick as possible, wants to have as much money when the gun rounds come around.
We'll see if it pays off. There's lots of different approaches we've seen. It's interesting to see shotguns still coming out as commonly as we've seen them tonight. That was sort of your aggressive play. With the SMGs, though, it changes things. It does leave for close quarter battles on both sides, which you could argue favors the shotgun if you can hit it. And we're going to see if Steel is going to be able to hit the shot with his CZ-75 out toward long. Tarek's found him already, so it's going to come on to ZQK, and he's caught, countered out. Fallen, meanwhile, is going to push, but he's so far away is the problem. This is looking good. So CLG 2 rounds, they look like they want to take A. A pistol round today, by the way, that's not common. It's been a long time since I've seen that. FNS, though, he's going to come around. There's 2 kills with the SMG. Big money for him. And Fallen, with this shotgun, might just hope to do some damage to the guns they've picked up.
Yeah, Fallen could just try and go for an exit. I mean, that's kind of what he's looking for. But JDM's got this scoped up. And Fallen's just going to hide behind this wall and wait for him. But a nice anti-eco from CLG, only losing 1 member thus far. JDM could be the next one to go down if they don't check their corner. They're all coming towards Fallen, but he does check it. He goes for the battle anyways. Fallen can't land anything, so 4 live for CLG. A good round from them, and it's going to be a full-blown eco here for Keydstars this round.
Okay. I was actually curious to see how they'd respond to this, if they'd even invest into pistols at all. They don't. They're going to stay put other than the PT-50s coming out.
Yeah, they got 2 pistols. 3, maybe 3. 2. Only got 2.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one still P2000 out. They finally changed the overlay look for the P2000. They've made it smaller than the P250, but they've taken out some of that indent on the top. So it's actually more distinguishable. I'm glad about that. As JDM will get Fur using the scout this time. So CLG also looking good on their entry. Tarek does find Bolt. They need to be aware that there's still a player on statue. If they don't cover him off, Cutler finds him. That's important. Steal. He could have done at least some damage when they tried to come in the site, but it's flawless anti-eco. A little bit of damage lost on Tarek, but otherwise things look good. And now we do have this 9-9 situation, so the grind begins. The guns come out, and we'll see if CLG can still find the accuracy on these entries, because they've made it look easy so far, but they haven't had these, I guess, Brazilians with their weapons. And again, here's ZQK. He's already on the op. Let's see if he plays it toward B. I'd be interested to see if they try and do what JDM did.
Yeah, it's a naked op. So he's going to go middle with it. And actually, we've seen this angle pretty often. This is a pretty solid angle for an op to get a pick if they try to entry in on a connector. Especially with Fallen right there to back him up. This could work really, really well for Keydstars. Tarek's inching his way over here. Here comes the pop flash from JDM.
And successful from Fallen to take down Tarek, as FNS will get him in return. So Pop Flash doesn't do a whole lot to cover that off. Cutler still wants to check. Make sure actually he's checking for a counter boost, so they don't get flanked immediately at B, but he still wants to lurk and try and potentially get down inside the site. Bomb dropped all the way back inside the B hallways. And look at how aggressive the play is right now from Fur. He's trying to get all the way up inside this smoke. He's already crossed up onto the balcony, and he'll go late inside the archway. And there's only, well, there is 2 Molotovs, so they could actually molly him out of here. We'll see if they check it late. He's going to go on the back of that flash that went over, though.
Yeah, this is going to be B hit for CLG. They do have 1 lurker that's hazed over towards the A bomb site. Just waiting and biding his time, and the defense is kind of rotated off of B. It's only 2 players. Fur's going to have a lot of work to do here.
JDM takes down first, and now the entry's looking good. He gets caught out. They have to rotate over early. Hazed is going to get a free rotation flank here if he wants to, but he's being slow, but he doesn't realize as they've all left. So Cutler has to do the work inside the site. JDM, another one for him in the rounding. ZQK takes down the bomb planter. That's FNS. So this slows things up a little bit, but ZQK, all that's left, he's going to be heard. Hayes knows he's there. He pops out, gets the shot. No, he doesn't. ZQK, great reaction, turns around, and finally he gets put to sleep by JDM, who finds another 3K. And he's up to 21 now. He leads all fraggers in the server. And CLG win the first gun. This gives them this much more to work with. Now they can potentially pick up yet another round on an anti-eco. And every round is going to count. This is massive to get this start.
Yeah, and CLG is rolling at the moment. It was 9-2 for Keydstars at one point in the first half. CLG, 8 straight for them. Looking good so far. And the entries, I mean, JDM with this AWP is working some magic for CLG at the moment. He's coming up with all the plays when they need him.
So they did originally go aggressive, but where Fallen gets tagged up so quickly, he immediately falls back. ZQK will play in the corner, CT side of mid. FNS wants to check Dangers. ZQK knows he's there. In fact, he had his back turned to the door. Yeah, there it is. They waited for Fallen to try and flash him in, but it won't work to anything. And Cutler, meanwhile, is trying to lurk on drop as Fur. He's in position. They also still have a really aggressive player in Steel who makes a lot of noise and somehow gets away without a response from Cutler. But again, it's an A take right now from CLG. They don't realize it, though. ZQK, he's got behind them in danger. So if he lurks out and they don't counter him off quickly, he has a chance here to get a kill. And that's what's going to happen, although they don't. He doesn't connect. He whiffs on the shots, and as a result, Ace will get the kill, and Tarek finds Fallen immediately afterward. Bolts has to get the deagle shot. Excellent execution onto Hayes. But FNS responding immediately after, and there will be no sermon spieled from the preacher shot as this bomb again will go down on A and Steel. Fur, what do they attempt to do? They haven't invested a whole lot in that Molotov. Fur, you can't hide there any longer and look for exits. You're going to have to run and hide, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Steel's going to join him.
That's so incredibly unfortunate from ZQK for all the amazing up shots we've seen him hit so far this season. He had a good chance to knock out 2 CLG players there. Unfortunate. So it's going to be 11 rounds for CLG. Fur can't even find Tarek in middle. They should be able to. I mean, they're going to have another naked op at least. So nice shot from Steel there. But Steel's got a lot of money, so they'll be able to afford an AWP here if they so choose, and they do. They actually pick up 2. They pick up 2.
The money bonus just put them slightly high enough. They had 3 players in the 6K figures at the start of that round, so they're pretty comfortable here. But it is a naked op for Fallen. That was no, there's the armor. Yeah. Okay. Why do you do this to me, Fallen? Problem was I brought up tap so I couldn't see his money either. Whoopsie.
I mean, this is the thing. It's going to be who's going to be the JDM for Keedstars. Who's going to be the one who really starts to instigate this comeback, because they're only down by 2. But I mean, this has been so many rounds straight for CLG. They're feeling very confident at the moment, working anything they can. Encouraging,
by the way, that JDM, yet to be announced as the full-time fit, is playing this sort of role, this sort of impact fragger as an op. This is reliable for them. I mean, obviously losing Peter, you talked about it. He had that one amazing game against LDLC, but inconsistency was his issue. If they can get JDM in and reliable, they've used him in the past. I think 3 seasons ago, he was a lot of the reason they made it to the LAN finals for ESEA in a much different roster iteration. But they go for the same similar boost. We saw that Tarek was on the tree inside B side. It's Fur's turn to get boosted up. We'll see if this plays any effect.
Well, both ops are an A bomb site, so that's kind of what scares me. So if this B site gets lost, I mean, the retaking ability is going to be severely impacted. Hayes is still the one lurking over towards A. In CLG, I mean, this is the same exact strat. They took mid control, they fall back towards B and leave Hayes to lurk. So without an op over here, this could be very dangerous for Keedstars.
And Steel holding a very passive angle. Again, this does allow for a quick drop inside the site when they approach. So Fur has to be on point. He needs to be able to shut them down if they get around the corner quickly. And that might be the case. Yeah, there you go. FNS already dropping in. But Fur holding strong. He's going to find 2 from drop side. FNS still alive, but now he goes down. Steel pops out late and takes him from the hut. There's nothing JDM can do. Keedstars, the passive-aggressive play pays off dividends. All 5 alive. And they get finally around on the CT side. That's efficient. This will help them back into it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they still have to bring down this economy of CLG, which has been running strong. But first round in quite some time for Keedstars, and it was pretty much a clean sweep. Hayes gets picked off on the lurk, and CLG running the clock down till about 20 seconds, and then just getting annihilated on the execute. And this time, it doesn't look like they're going for their standard play of taking over that mid control and falling back towards B. They have all 5 members coming over towards B and towards the drop. JDM's just going to hold the corner with his AWP, but once again, it's the double op setup from Keedstars in the A bomb site, and they're executing onto B. So Fur gets to that first one. He's boosted up by the tree. Can't find the head of Tarek. He's got to fall down. He's getting shot through the tree. But it's a 5-on-4.
And he falls away accordingly. It takes a little bit. Actually, didn't take much damage at all. Only 14, and now CLG, they're pretty much bashing their head against the wall. That fire's going to come out. That'll divide them up, and ZQK, excellent peek, takes down Tarek. Steel's still alive at the hut. They've dropped in again. Puts a little bit of pressure on the front of Fur, but Steel's still alive. They haven't got an answer for him. Smoke on the site. This allows them to get closer, but bomb's already dropped. Cutler walks around, has no idea he's exposed that directly to Steel. Finesse, late kill, but gets him. Unfortunately, he's in a 1-on-2. And Fallen makes no mistake to bring us back to wishing hour. 11-11. Touch something red, say your prayers, and see if CLG can make a comeback here, because it does shift the momentum firmly back to Keedstars now.
Yeah, and an eco round for CLG, and this is going to let the bank build up behind K-Stars. This double op setup, even though they're both at the A bomb site. I mean, the Colts or the M4A1s over at the B bomb site have really shut down these hits. And they're actually letting, I mean, they have this crossfire set up for that A platform. They're actually letting them swing wide on the platform and just peeking them all at the same time, so it's very well coordinated by Keedstars.
want to peek it out with these pistols to try and catch the player at top mid, but look at Fur. He's in danger this time, so he's changing up everything. Over on B, back to A. Good read on this more aggressive A play. But so far, they've brought it back a little bit. They've evened it out with only 1 kill in response. It's Fur that does get caught off. That gives them 1 rifle to work with. Tarek's going to pick that up, but look at ZQK lurking with this op, and he gets them completely off guard. Cutler has no idea he's there, and he just walks out passively. And Tarek tries to pursue him and chase him very aggressively, it has to be said, and walks out and realizes he's got more company than just that initial player. So Keatstars now do have the lead. Good anti-eco. And Counterlogic do have the op-out. They throw it over to JDM. No surprise at all. Let's see if he can open it up. He did it in the first half. Now he's got to do it T-side.
Keatstar, this defense, that round, it was just an anti-eco against pistols, but they did such a good job of not overextending themselves in that area. I mean, that's an area where if you fall there, you can give away a gun. So the ops were really toying with it, being aggressive, taking a shot and falling back, and letting their support players who are rotating over from the B bomb site cover them very, very well. But there's an opening for JDM. So Keatstar's tried to switch things up. ZQK tried to get a little bit of aggressive and peek down into that B tunnel. He gets punished for it.
This is good. It gives them an early pick. They didn't have that in the last round, that's for sure. They lost 2 to Fur before they finally countered him out, so give them something to work with. Hayes, this is smart as well, because Fur is pushed in middle, as we see from X-Ray. If they wanted to go for a flank, he's in a really good spot to do it. It does weaken the take a little bit, 1 man less, but right now Fallen's so far away that if they go quick, there's only 2 men to reinforce the site, and they're going to do that. Down over drop. The bomb's going drop as well, though, so JDM needs to come out now and make sure he takes down Steel, or rather Bolts this time, over on the statue, because that'll give them more chance to work inside the site. If they lose the bomb and drop, it's going to be problematic. Flash is perfect, though. Look at that peek from Cutler. Steel does find Tarek crossing over. Fur finds Hayes. That's the lurk. He was waiting for that flank. Either way, it does buy them a little more time and gives them information. There's 1 less player. That means they're solo for Fallen to try and take this back 1-on-3. So free bomb plant CLG. Smoke out on alley, smoke out on the front of statue. This doesn't give much at all for Fallen to work with. Flashes are going to blind him up, but he knows he has the angle to at least get a little more aggressive and closer to the bomb site. Spams through it. Can't find anyone. And FNS passive at Hut just has to wait this out. Perfect execution, pops out, catches Fur, and he might get the second on Fallen. He does. Really well played by him, and now it's back to 12-12. That early pick, though, that's what started it all. They need to look for those more often.
Well, Keatstars hasn't been giving him that early pick opportunity, you know, in some of these rounds. Both of those ops have been playing over towards A, so they switch it up towards B, and he takes that aggressive stance, and JDM punishes him for it. So I doubt we see that again, but, you know, I saw something really nice out of Tarek. He comes down drop, and he actually bounces a Molotov over the roof and drop behind the rock, which was Steel was using to watch for that. So it flushes him out of position, and he's able to trade the kill very, very efficiently. That was just a good execution from CLG, in my opinion, off the pick.
Interesting. Bolts threw a decoy in there. I know that's economic for why he has a decoy. He's only got $50 left, but it's cool the way he played it really early, because usually you wouldn't spam that spot. What it does do is potentially distracts enough for Steel to pop out, because they do have a bit of a crossfire set on drop. All for naught, though. It's already dissolved. It's already exploded and gone away. I don't know. Could have been cool if it works out for them, but nonetheless, it's going to be a trade. FNS will find Fur. Finesse, though, look at him, down to 6 HP. This is grim, because now they still have to come in and take the site on A, and they've got rotations coming over. Good shot, JDM, though. He opens it up again for CLG. He's doing his job. This is his task, and now there's a chance as they try and pour into the A site, overwhelm them, smoke off on both connection points. Tarek with the op trying to watch with JDM, so both ops out at long right now to hold this position and make sure that the riflers can get close, but both riflers down. Steel on the back of this new truck, using it to perfection. Left peek, right peek, gets them both, and now it's all left to Tarek, and he's going to be caught as well, or is he still alive somehow? But only just, as he's on 56 HP, and there it is. ZQK just fires at that paper-thin wall. Eventually, he'll drop him down.
Nicely held by Keatstars after 2 good entries from CLG, and I think that's really where the JDM is helping CLG out the most. Obviously, I mean, he's at 23 kills, so just straight up in terms of his fragging, he's assisting in a big way. But he's also fragging early on in these rounds. He's taking some of the pressure off Tarek to have to make the plays to give them the opening into these bomb sites. So that's helping CLG a lot on this terror side. But unfortunately, the economy is reset, so CLG is going to be on an eco here. It's just going to be a straight up B rush.
And it's going to be rushing directly into a slaughter right now. As it all comes down to Cutler, and he's got a lot of people looking in his direction. He's a popular guy right now. At least he has that going for him, because unfortunately the round's not going for him at all. Flawless anti-eco, 14 now for Keydstars, 2 away from GG, but Counterlogic Gaming are not out of this by any stretch. They've had decent T rounds. Obviously, they went off to a flying start, got 5-0. Since that start, though, on the second half, they've only picked up the 1 gun round. It's a bit concerning. Now, that round also, keep in mind, came with an early pick from JDM, so if they can find some sort of opening, they are taking the advantage they get from it.
Yeah, this is looking a lot like Nihilum that we saw earlier on Mirage, where they started out like 0-5, and they just figured something out in their defense, and everything just got locked down. And Keydstars seems to be in that same kind of a position right now, where they have this attack from CLG pretty well understood, and they're countering it. The rotations are fantastic. Coordinated peaks are on point. And without an opening pick, there's nothing to alleviate that for CLG, so that's really where they're getting punished at the moment.
FNS tries to go through that flash, but Fur catches him. So a danger again. Fur, he got 2 kills here last time he pushed up aggressively. He may do the same now because Tarek can't land the shot. That's exactly the case. He has to go to the knife. He thought about it trying to push onto Hayes, but that's not going to work.
It was his only option.
It was. He was out of ammo for everything else, but again, he finds 2 early kills before he's traded. This happened immediately after round 9, on round 10 of this half, and that was how they got back into this economically for Keydstars, because they broke CLG immediately after. This potentially could put them on match point, even more detrimental.
And ZQK is actually pulling a mini flank onto Hayes. Hayes isn't even going to know what hit him. He goes down immediately, so the bomb is over towards the B bomb site. Fallen's got an op on this, though, so once again, Cutler, he doesn't know what hit him either. Allows ZQK to, or Fallen, excuse me. Absolutely disgusting second shot. Nice recovery out of JDM, and CLG just gets slapped around that round.
That was crazy. That was awesome.
I mean, I have to say that kill, the kills that happened in Danger, the 2 of them that Fur got, I mean, that's got to be traded off.
Has to be. That's. I mean, again, that's twice crucial. He's done that.
Yep, that's actually 3 times. They've caught him out once, but it's been successful twice now. But I mean, that's got to get. That's a kill that needs to be traded.
So this is it. Match point now for Keydstars, and it's a Tech 9 buy right now from CLG. We'll see if they can make it work. As we see, FNS does have smoke in front of him to contend with. But aggressive JDM, he's already pushed up toward the front of that smoke at the B connector. On long. Steel and Fallen, though. This is cool. They're going to go for this boost in the corner. Okay, they actually put him all the way up. They could just sit there and see over the top and be able to fall quickly, because against the Tech 9s, now Steel has a bit of a problem if they come in swarming onto him. It could be traded a lot easier, whereas if he plays that position on the wall, as soon as he gets the first kill, they can drop and then fall off and play the distance game.
Look at this stacked defense over at the B bomb site. I mean, they're on to what CLG's been doing. Hayes lurking at A and 4 over towards B, so they're ready for this completely.
CQK making a little bit of noise. That's going to make Hayes second guess pushing out or falling off quickly, thinking there might be someone coming. Now he knows it's going to be falling off regardless. CLG, they want to execute. They do get drop, and they burn away on Steel. They've got themselves a chance, the man advantage, and they pick up one M4 to work with now. But there's still a player inside the site. In fact, Fur's joined in as well. He's at the rock, and that gives them good position to peek when they come out of drop on the B side, but they're still swarmed. They still have nowhere to go. And ZQK shows off exactly why that's the case. Picks up the double, making a triple, switching over to the pistol. Excellent work, and it's all down to Hayes, the player who is on the lurk, and the Tech 9 can do no damage. ZQK picking up a quad to close things out. How fitting is that? And it's going to be 16-12 in the end for the Brazilians who get away tonight without a loss. It was Cloud9 taking them down last evening, but they won't make the same mistake twice. I have to say, though, CLG, that was pretty good from them. That was a good T half